guys, today we're going to be reviewing NS8 but preparing for EE9. So before we can do EE9 where we're going to be doing independent and dependent variables, we need to understand how to use a coordinate plane. Now, I will say that most of the time students forget about coordinate planes and how to use them because they always want to flip it and say that we have an X and a Y, but they can't remember which one is which. So let's take a second and look at those. So when you're talking about a line that goes horizontally, that is your X, okay? So then here's our X, and we can call that our negative X, and this would be our positive X, okay? So now we got our X-axis, and then we have our Y's. Now, Mr. Killen likes to do this really, crazy Y thing. So he does like this and then like that. So your Y-axis makes that little loop right there, just like a Y. So this is your positive Y, and here's your negative Y. Another thing we need to look at is that we have 4 quadrants, where in elementary and 5th grade, you really only focused on quadrant 1. In 6th grade, we really start pulling in 4 quadrants. So we have quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. These are what we do this counterclockwise. And the best way we can remember this is to make a C around the origin. So we have quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and then quadrant 4. Okay, so with quadrant 1, everything is positive. This is the quadrant that you used mostly in elementary school. So you have a positive X and a positive Y. In quadrant 2, you have a negative X because you went left to the negative, and then you're going to go positive Y. Okay, so you have a negative and a positive. Quadrant 3 is the exact opposite of quadrant 1 because these are what we're going to talk about later, reflections across the origin. This is a negative, the exact opposite. And same thing with quadrant 4. Quadrant 4 is the exact opposite of quadrant 2, or you can look at this as being a positive X because we went right, and then we're going to go down. So we have a positive, negative, which is the exact opposite of quadrant 2. So now we're going to take our numbers and we're going to plot them on the graph. All right, so let's move this. Mr. Clark taught me a really cool new trick, so we're going to use it. All right, so we have negative 6, 15. So we're going to start at our origin. Let me blow this up a little bit more. All right, so we're going to start at our origin, and we're going to go left 6 because it's negative. Now, notice I said the word left. If you say left, that means negative. If you say down, it means negative. If you say right or up, that's positive, okay? So we're going to go left, and sometimes I like to write left 6 times and then up 15, because when you're talking about rights and lefts, you're talking about your X-axis. When you're talking about ups and downs, you're talking about your Y-axis. So we're going to go left 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, I didn't mean to put a dot there. And then we're going to go up 15. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It kind of ran off, but in that area right there. And we're going to label it A. It's always important to label it because later you might need that, and it'll be really easy for you to spot it. All right, so then we have B, which is going to be a positive 3, negative 9. So we're going to go right 3 because that's a positive 3, and we're going to go down 9. So right 3, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So here's B. And last one, we have a negative 9, positive 9. So we're going to go left 9 spaces and up 9 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, always remember to go back to that origin and then find your coordinates that way. All right, so let's clear this. All right, so now we're going to look at these numbers, or this ordered pair. So in this ordered pair, we have 5 and negative 8. Now, we're going to do a little bit of extra work on this one. So 5 and negative 8. So we're going to go right 5, because it's a positive X, and then we're going to go down 8. Okay, so we're going to start the origin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's that ordered pair right there. Now, the next part, it says go down 5. So what we're actually doing here is we're taking our 5, negative 8, and it says go down 5. So if you're already at negative 8 and you go down 5 more, you could also look at that as you're adding two negative integers. So you're saying negative 8 and down 5. So now you're going to be looking at that being a negative 13. So we can go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to be on this row, right, this line right here, somewhere. Okay, so there's our negative 13. Then it says go left 7. Well, if you're at 5 on a number line and you go left 7, you're fixing to cross over 0. So what you're doing is you're actually subtracting that 7 because you said left 7. So 5 minus 7, so that's going to give us negative 2, negative 13. Now, if that's a little confusing for you right now, just do exactly what it says. Go down 5 and then go left 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which you can tell it puts us at negative 2, negative 13, which is exactly where we were when we did our integers here, when we added and subtracted our integers. So just remember, your x-axis deals with rights and lefts, and your y deals with ups and downs. And there are 4 quadrants. Use counterclockwise, use that C to make sure that we get all of that in the right quadrant and we understand those ordered pairs.